Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. Are you ready for some super maths? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you ready for some super maths? I hope so. Right then, let's see what you're going to need for today's lesson. You will need a dry white pen, a whiteboard, a pencil and paper, and a ruler. If you need any of those things, pause the video. I won't be going anywhere. Okay, let's see. Are you ready for our warm-up activity? And today we have got 3 challenges for you to choose from. And in each of these challenges, you have got to see if you can find who is the imposter. That means who is the odd one out. So we've got 3 challenges. In each of those challenges, you've got 4 number sentences, and one of them is the odd one out. Try and work out which one it is. So everybody should be able to attempt the one with the canoe, the green challenge, and most of you will be able to attempt our boat challenge, our middle yellow one, and some of you might want to challenge yourself a little bit more and do the submarine challenge. So you have got about 1.5 minutes to see if you can complete the challenge, and that's the time it takes for the spaceship to fly around the screen. Your time starts now. And if you're being super whizzy and you complete one of the challenges, why not try another one? Here comes the flying saucer. We've got about 20 minutes left for this. 20 minutes, 20 seconds left. Okay, time's nearly up. And that's it. Okay, the flying saucers arrived back at the home planet. So let's see how you got on with that challenge. Did you manage to find the imposter? Well, let's look at the first challenge. Most of those number sentences had an answer of 10, apart from that one there. 6 and 5 was 11. So there's our alien imposter. And onto our middle boat challenge. Most of those number sentences equals 20, apart from the chap down the bottom, and his number sentence equaled 30. And in the last one, there's our alien imposter. The other number sentences equaled 60, apart from that one, which was 61. Well done if you found the imposters. And don't worry, they'll be taken back to their home planet in a spaceship. Right, on to today's lesson, and we're going to carry on our work today on pictograms. Can you remember the work that we did yesterday on pictograms? A pictogram is simply a way of showing data, showing numbers, showing information by using little symbols, and we're going to have a quick recap. So here we have got 2 pictograms, and these pictograms are about fruit, how much fruit children have been eating in 2 weeks. So we've got week 1 and week 2, 2 different pictograms. And we can see there's a key there, which is a picture of a peach, and that means 1 piece of fruit. So we need to look at the 2 pictograms to see if we can answer the questions. Question 1, who ate the most pieces of fruit in week 1? Question 2, who ate their least fruit overall? Question 3, what was the difference in the amount of fruit between week 1 and week 2 for Ron? And then question 4, did Ron have the biggest difference in the amount of fruit he ate in week 1 and week 2? Pause the video here and just see if you can answer those questions. Okay, let's see how you got on. Right then. So question number 1, who ate the most pieces of fruit in week 1? Well, I'm looking at the key, looking at the pictures. Oh, look, Mo has got 4 pieces of fruit next to his or her name. And question 2, who ate the least fruit overall? Overall means in both the 2 weeks. So that means we have to add up how much fruit they had in week 1 and in week 2. So let's see, who do you think that is? Ron, he had 3 in week 1 and 3 in week 2, which is a total of 6. And that was the least amount of fruit overall. Question 3, what was the difference in the amount of fruit between week 1 and week 2 for Ron? So in week 1, Ron had 3 pieces of fruit, and in week 2, he also had 3 pieces of fruit. So there was no difference. He had the same both weeks. And last of all, did Ron have the biggest difference? Well, we've just worked out that Ron had a difference of 0 between the 2 weeks. Who did have the biggest difference? Was it Annie? She had 1 in week 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in week 2. That was a difference of 5. What about Eva? She had 3 in week 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in week 2. That's a difference of 4. Ron had 0. Mo had 1. So it was Annie. She had a difference of 5. Well done if you've got them correct. Now we've got another tally chart here, which I'm just starting to tally up the amount of fruit. So there's my apples. I've got 5, 6 apples there, I can see. Now I've got the oranges, which I'm just going to tally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges, and another 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a total of 10 oranges, and then the bananas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then I've got 1 and 2 more. So that's a total of 12. So we remember we learned about tally charts on Monday. So let's see if we can put that into a pictogram. So there's our tally chart, and Dora is going to draw a pictogram of this information, and she's going to use a circle, a pink circle, as her symbol to represent one piece of fruit. So let's see if she can draw in how many apples there are. There we go, 6 apples. Good job, Dora. And then the oranges. And there are 10 oranges. Good job. And then bananas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, now we've run out of room. Should Dora put them underneath there? No, I don't think that's very good, really, because it won't be clear. You won't be able to see clearly the difference between oranges and bananas. I think they ought to go on the end there. 1, 2. But I tell you what, that doesn't look very good because we haven't got enough room on our table. It would be handy if we didn't have to draw as many circles. Tommy has got an idea. He thinks that we could use the circle to represent 2 pieces of fruit. That's a good idea, Tommy, because we'd need to use less circles and less room. I wonder if you could pause the video and have a go at drawing Tommy's pictogram. So remember, for his pictogram, a circle doesn't mean 1 piece of fruit, it means 2. Have a little go at that. Pause the video, come back in about 5 minutes. Okay, how did you get on? Well, let's have a little look. So for the apples, there were 6 apples, and because 1 circle means 2, we only need to draw 3 circles. And then for the oranges, there are 10 oranges, and if we use our circle to represent 2 pieces, we only need 5 circles. And then bananas, there were 12. So how do I know how many circles I need? Well, half of 12, if I divide 12 between 2, that would be 6. That's 6 bananas. Well done if you managed to complete that pictogram at home. Now then, here's another chart showing how much reading has been done each day over a week. We can see on Monday there was 20 minutes, Tuesday 25, Wednesday 10 minutes, Thursday 15, Friday 30, Saturday 55, and Sunday 45. On which day has the little girl done the most reading? I think that is Saturday. So if we were going to draw a pictogram to show this information, we know it needs to go up to 55. Can you have a little think? What would be a good key to use? So we could use a book, but how many minutes do you think it could represent? Pause the video and have a little think about that. Because remember, it doesn't have to just mean one. We just saw Tommy's pictogram that the circle could represent two. Here, what could the book represent? Okay, who's had a good idea? I wonder. I think one good idea would be for it to represent 10. Did anybody think that? Did anybody think something else? Did anybody think that it could represent 5 minutes? Well, that might be quite handy because some of those numbers are in the 5 times table. So that would be easy to do a pictogram using 5-minute intervals. If we had a key where the book was 10 minutes, some of those numbers are not in the 10 times table. We'd have to think about that, wouldn't we? And that would mean that sometimes we wouldn't need to draw a whole book. We'd only need to draw half a book because 5 minutes is half of 10. So we can see on Monday there are 2 books, and if a book means 10 minutes, that means she did 20 minutes of reading on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got 1.5 books. So that's 1 whole book, that's 10 minutes. Half of 10 is 5, so that is 15 minutes. Wednesday, 1 book, 10 minutes. Thursday, a 10 and a 10 and a 5, that's 25 minutes. Friday, 3 lots of 10, 3 lots of 10 is 30. Saturday, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 10, 5 tens are 50, and a 5 is 55. And on Sunday, we've got 4 tens, 4 tens is 40, and a 5 is 45. So here's a question for you. On which day did Alex read the most, and by how much? Well, it's easy to spot which one she did the most, but by how much? Pause the video and have a little think about that. Okay, how did you get on? Well, Alex read the most. We can see quite easily on Saturday because that's our longest row on our pictogram. But by how much? Well, that means we need to look at the next longest day. The next longest day was Sunday. How much more did Alex read on Saturday than on Sunday? Let's see. Well, she's got on Saturday 1 whole book more in that pictogram, and 1 whole book is 10. So on Saturday she read the most by 10 minutes. Well done if you managed to work it out. Okay, here's another pictogram for you. And in this pictogram, a chicken represents 10. The picture of the chicken represents 10 chickens. And this is all about a visit to the farm and how many chickens were spotted. On Monday, there's 2 pictures of chicken. Tuesday, there's 1. Wednesday, there's 3 pictures of chicken. Thursday, 2. Friday, there are none. So here's a question for you. How many chickens were seen on Wednesday? Well, there's Wednesday, and there are 3 chickens, so the answer must be 3. Is that correct? Oh, hang on a moment. Look at the key. There's the key. The key represents 10 chickens. So each of those chickens means 10. We've got 3 lots of 10, and 3 lots of 10 is 30. So on Wednesday, 30 chickens were seen. How many chickens were seen on Thursday? Well, on Thursday, there were 2 chickens drawn there, and 2 lots of 10 is 20. So that's 20 chickens. Well done if you spotted that. How many more chickens were seen on Wednesday than Tuesday? Now, our friends have got some different ideas about how they could work this out. Our first friend says, I can subtract to find the difference. So that means subtracting the smallest number from the biggest number. That means subtracting 1 from 3. Okay, that will work. And our other friend says, I know an easy way to compare. She had a good idea yesterday, didn't she? I think they're going to share their ideas with us. So, how many more chickens were seen on Wednesday than Tuesday? Well, first of all, we could find the difference by taking away. There were 30 on Wednesday, 10 on Tuesday. 30 take away 10 equals 20. So there were 20 more chickens on Wednesday and Tuesday. And we could also use the pictogram to compare by drawing a little line. And we can see there are 2 more chickens on the pictogram. And that because 1 chicken is 10, that is 20 chickens, 20 more chickens. Okay, I'm just going to ask you to look at this pictogram now and just tell me what you notice about it. Look at the key, look at the balls. It's about how many goals were scored in a game of football. What do you notice? Okay, what can we see on this pictogram? Well, a picture of a football means 2 goals. So every time there's a picture of a football, that means 2. So I can see that Alex, he's got 2 balls there. So that doesn't mean he scored 2 goals. It means he scored 4 goals. And our friend is saying that she scored 3. That's the most goals. That is what Rosie is saying. Is Rosie right? Did she score 3? No, she didn't. There's 3 balls there, but 3 balls means 3 lots of 2, which is 6 goals. Mo scored 4 goals. Is that correct? There's only 2 balls next to his name. Do you think that's right? That is right, because every ball means 2. So it's 2 lots of 2 is 4. Mo scored 1 more goal than Whitney. Is that correct? Well, next to Mo, I can see there's 2 balls. Next to Whitney, down the bottom, there's 1. He's got 1 more ball. So did he score 1 more goal than Whitney? No, because remember, 1 ball means 2. He scored 2 more. And then last of all, what about this one? 16 goals were scored altogether. I know this because there are 8 balls and each ball is worth 2 goals. Is he right? Let's count up the balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is 8 lots of 2. Yes, that is correct, isn't it? Well done. Now then, on to today's challenges for you to complete. And today I would like you to draw some pictograms. And the information that I would like you to put on the pictogram, it says, this is how long it takes these teachers to get to school. Mr. Churchill takes 5 minutes. Mr. Antel takes 25 minutes. Mrs. Crabbe takes 30 minutes. Mr. Williams takes 20 minutes. And Miss Booth takes 5 minutes to get to school. So what I would like you to do is to draw a pictogram to show how long it takes, there should be an S on the end of take, how long it takes them to get to school. And you might want to do our first challenge, and that is to do a pictogram using a key of 5 minutes. So think of what picture you would use. It could just be a shape. You might want to do a picture of a clock to show time, or a car, and use your key to show 5 minutes and draw a pictogram to show how long it takes them to get to school. You might want to do our boat challenge, and that is to do the same thing using a key of 5 minutes, but also to answer the questions, which I will show you in just a moment. Or you might want to challenge yourself a little bit more, and for the same information, use a key of 10 minutes. And if you're using a key of 10 minutes, you might need to think about how you will show 5 minutes. 5 is half of 10. And then you can answer the questions that I'm about to show you, and also write your own questions. Come up with 2 questions of your own that you could ask. So these are the questions. And question number 1 says, so once you've done your pictogram, use it to answer these. Question number 1, who takes the longest time to get to school? Question 2, how much longer does it take Mrs. Crabbe to get to school than Miss Booth? And question 3, what is the total time for the men to get to school? And if you're not sure, Mr. Churchill, Mr. Antell, and Mr. Williams are the men. Okay, so I think about 10 minutes should be enough to complete your pictograms and answer your questions if you're doing that, and writing your own questions if you're doing that. We will see how you get on in a few minutes, or in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So those of you who did a pictogram with a 5-minute interval key. Hopefully it looks something like this. Now, you might have drawn any symbol on your key. You might have done circles or squares or crosses or drawn cars or anything at all. But as long as you've got the same number in next to each person. If you did the challenge of the key for being 10 minutes, you would have had to have done some of your symbols in half, like this one. And let's look at the answers to the questions. So, who takes the longest time to get to school? Mrs. Crab. She takes 30 minutes. How much longer does it take Mrs. Crab to get to school than Miss Booth? Well, if you use your pictogram, and we can see that Mrs. Crab takes 30 minutes, Miss Booth takes 5. You could draw a line down like we did before, and we can see Mrs. Crabwood takes 2.5 cars longer. That's 25 minutes. And what is the total time for the men to get to school? Let's have a look at our graph. So Mr. Churchill, that's 5 minutes. Mr. Antel, that's 10, and 10 is 20, and 5 is 25. 25 and 5 is 30. And Mr. Williams takes 20. That's 30, and 20 is 50 minutes. Okay. Wow, that's the end of today's lessons on pictograms. We've got one more lesson left on data handling and statistics. So I will see you for that tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.